Hello folks, what a crazy market. Are we now in a bear market? Is this just a correction? What's going on? Well, let's talk about it in today's video. Oof. Bitcoin is on free fall. I believe we're in a full bear market mode. We're down over 35% from the October highs of $126,000, wiping out all gains for 2025. Right now, as I'm recording this, we're trading at $82,400 after testing the lows of $80,000. We are officially in a bear territory with over $600 billion evaporated from the market cap. Even the ETFs like BlackRock are bleeding out. The fear is extreme and the RSI is at 27.7, which is screaming oversold, and this is on the daily. Whales are dumping and liquidity is thin. The macro actually looks tough, with AI stocks tanking and interest rate cut hopes are dying. People are calling it on the internet the nuclear winter, but these oversold signals, usually they hint something. They hint a shakeout and not the end of the world. Analysts are waiting for a little bounce between $84,000 and $86,000, but be careful because if the $80,000 breaks once again, $70K is next. Ethereum is not a safe haven either. It's down 13% on the week to 2650. Looking at it technically, it is a mess. We broke the 50 weekly moving average, and if the support we have at 27 folds, we could test 2500 and maybe even below that by the end of the month. The sentiment is 84% bearish right now. Is there any upside? Well, we are 46% off the highs and staking yields are not cushioning the fall. Crypto Twitter is actually split between the oversold bounce and the sub 2K crash, so watch for that 2500 low. If we break the 2400, 2100 is the floor. If you hold altcoins, buckle up. They're actually the casualties here. The index, excluding Bitcoin, is down 30% this month alone. Solana is at 124 right now. XRP is just clinging. Is just holding on for its life. The altcoin season index is at low 32 out of 100, which means Bitcoin dominance forever. But why is all of this happening? Bitcoin is sucking up all the liquidity, VC funding is down, and trust is very low. People are saying there's no alt season in 2025. The only outlier has been Zcash. The prediction? Well, if Bitcoin hits 70K, we can expect altcoins and mid-caps to go down another 80%. So not financial advice, but consider diversifying into stables or maybe blue chip if you think now it's the time to buy Bitcoin. But remember, when everyone is calling it a scam, it usually is a buy signal for Bitcoin. Now, here's something that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, which is Bitmain, the world's largest corporate Ethereum holder, and they just swallowed a $4.18 billion in unrealized losses. They bought at an average of $4,000 per coin, and now they're sitting at 2650 valuations. While everyone is focusing on the ETFs outflows, this is a literal punch in the gut for the corporate treasury narrative. We're seeing a lot of it with Bitcoin, but we know there's a lot of corporate buying Ethereum as well. The Bitmain stock tanked 37% this month alone. Even with market makers buying more Ethereum, the math is brutal. They're down over $1,000 per coin. But crypto is not crashing in a vacuum. The stock market's actually dragging us deeper. The Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq are all shedding points as the AI bubble fears are reigniting. Bitcoin's correlation to the Nasdaq is biting very hard right now. If the Fed skips rate cuts in December, expect more bleed on all markets. The only bright spot is a potential rotation into value plays, but for now, risk assets are taking a hit. Now, let's actually look a little bit at the Fear and Greed Index. Let me put the camera right here. We have been in extreme fear for quite a while now. We saw 10 a couple of days. We went back to 14, then back to 11, back to 15, back to 11. Now we are back at 14, but I believe tomorrow we're going to be seeing red again. When you go to the max, you see that we haven't touched these points many times. And usually when we touch these points, it is a good place for us to buy more crypto. It doesn't mean that it is the actual bottom when it comes to the day, but it means that we are indeed looking at a possible bottom in the month. And we can actually fact check this, because if we actually go to February, between the 20th and the 26th of February on Bitcoin, let's actually go to the weekly. I think will be better. The February was right here. And between February and March, we marked the bottom. So this could be it. We could be starting the bottom right here, slowing down. So a little bit of a sideways action between November and December to then pick up as we did right here. So I believe this was also another Fear and Greed Index bottom. I believe this was also one. Maybe this was also one, or this one right here. here. So all of these bottoms right here usually are marked with a lot of fear from the people, from retailers in the market. And we can see that it usually marks the bottom for Bitcoin, usually marks the bottom for that cycle. So if we look at our currencies right now, it looks really bad. Editor, if you can zoom in for a little bit and keep it zoomed, you can see I'm going to be scrolling the top 10. There isn't a single one that has been profitable in the last 7 days. Everything is red. From Bitcoin all the way to Cardano, we are bleeding all over the place. And if we can go down further, we only see Zcash being profitable right now. We keep going down, we keep going down. The second thing that we find is Aster, that for some reason is up. If we keep going down, then we have Pi, which I've never heard of. Then we have Gold, and then Starknet for some reason. Out of the top 100, actually the top 50, there's only 4 that are in the green. Of course, not counting stablecoins, because stablecoins, even if they're showing red right here, it is a very, very minimal move, still very close to the $1. But you can see how the market is tanking and a lot of people are reacting in a negative way. I'm kind of glad that I lost a lot in October and not right now, because I would have been desperate, and because I already lost a part of the money over there in October. Everything that I made after that went into stablecoins, and everything that I had in the hard wallet, I don't really care what the price on that is. I just want to DCA a little bit more and send it to the hard wallet and not even look at it for the next 2 or 3 years. But you can see that we are in a sticky situation. If this is the first time that you are finding yourself in a place where everyone is calling crypto a scam, crypto's dead, Bitcoin is dead, well, I've been here since 2021, and let me tell you, we are gonna be seeing this every cycle. And now, because a lot of people are considering this a bear market, and if this goes on for a couple of months, in the bear market, you're gonna see altcoins die. So most of your altcoins are going to die if this is indeed a bear market. There's going to be very little upside on a very little amount of coins, maybe Zcash, maybe Starknet for some reason, but only a few will be profitable in this cycle of bear market. So I'm not saying for you to not buy any coins, because it's actually when you should be stacking up coins for the next bull cycle. But in the meantime, what you should be doing is looking at alternatives. And one of these alternatives is stablecoin yields. And guess what? Bitopics has one of the, if not the best stablecoin yield for you during all markets, because we use options to make your USDC generate yield for you. So how do we do that? With options. Well, we have vaults right here, and these vaults, let me actually show you on screen. These vaults are stablecoin vaults, but we trade the volatility on assets using options. So we have the Alt0DTE and the 0DTE. The Alt0DTE uses Ethereum, it can use Solana, and the 0DTE just uses Bitcoin options. So you can see that this on the left started this month on November, and now we've made 6.83% on stablecoins. Let me tell that again, 6.8% in this month alone with stablecoins. The other strategy, the one on the right, has in over 1 year and 5-6 months has made 110%. So if you had deposited there, even though Bitcoin in 1 year has round tripped, so if you had bought Bitcoin 1 year ago, you would have been round tripped by now, or even a little bit on a loss right now. If you would have deposited into Bitopics, you would have made 110% out of that. So you can see that we are growing very, very fast. This one so far has $1.5 million in asset under management, and the 0DT has $4 million in assets under management. And guess what? We are able to generate income even in a bear market or in a crab market, which is a sideways market. How do we do that? Is that some weird algorithmic stablecoin thing like we had with Luna? No, this is actually trading options. We are trading options. There are traders actively managing the money behind the scenes, and they're doing trades. And you can see that it doesn't mean that it's going to be just profit, profit, profit. These are not fake. We have days where we lose money. If you click right here, you can see that we have days when we have losses, but overall we have a very low average drawdown and we make consistent income out of this. So if you want to check it out, it is the first link in the description, or there will be a QR code somewhere here, and you can just deposit your stablecoin and make money. And if you tell me, Everton, I want to do that myself, I don't want to be paying 30% success fees for someone to trade for me and I have to do nothing. I want to learn and I want to do that myself. How do I do that? Well, if you click right here on education, you're going to be sent to this page right here. Let me mute. And here I've recorded for you a full crypto options course for free. Again, first link in the description for you to register for free. You don't have to deposit anything else. Just click on education and you will see these, I think there are 20 videos showing you from zero to hero on how to trade options here with Bitopics. So hopefully this will inspire you and hopefully you're able to make some money even though the market is tanking. So If you have any questions or if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comments or reach out on Twitter, wherever you feel more comfortable. I'll be happy to help you and get things sorted out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on Monday. So have a safe weekend. Take care. Peace.